How's it going, guys? It's Matt from Spark, and today's update is on the Brute. After 2 years of development, we finally launched the Brute alongside a brand new bike called the Javelin. We were so excited when we launched the Brute. It was the next generation of the Bandit and took everything we learned from that bike and just amped it up. After that launch, we took pre-orders and sent a 200-piece order to our frame maker for them to begin production. Unfortunately, in about 3 or 4 weeks, we received a message from that frame maker that they were going out of business. That frame maker was the same company that made the Bandit for years and was a company that we really trusted. However, we were lucky enough to have a new connection made by one of our partners overseas, and they put us in the hands of a brand new frame maker. That particular frame maker also makes frames for some of the biggest names in the industry. However, the Brute is unlike anything they had ever built. Most of the bikes they had built were 750 watts, and it was a major learning curve on how to build a bike with motorcycle-grade components. Just like the Bandit, this bike required tooling to be made to have all these tubes cut and have everything welded perfectly. After a few weeks of going back and forth with that frame maker, we had finally landed on a way to produce this bike, and they began to make the tools. But the challenges were not done yet. Found that it required 3 more iterations of these tools to be made to make the frame properly. We were just running into stupid problems. The clearances were not there, and those tools just had to continue to get refined and refined and refined until they were able to make a safe frame. Now, we are extremely excited with the results, and these frames are bulletproof. While this was challenging for Spark to go through, having constant changes to our plans, it was way more difficult for you guys who had pre-ordered these bikes and were just getting constant changes of lead times. And for that, we are so incredibly grateful that you held in there with us. Through all the Brutes that were pre-ordered, I think we may have only had 1 cancellation, and I think 1 other bike that was just transferred over to a Javelin. You have all been amazing supporters of our team, and for that, we are so grateful. So, if you pre-ordered a Brute, what's the standing of your order? Well, there was another delay that happened right as we were getting ready to ship out these bikes. And our team was not going to tolerate delaying these things any longer to you guys. And so we actually forfeited all profits on this first batch and had all the frames air freighted to us from our partner. Without air freighting those frames, you would have seen another 3 to 4 week delay. So if you were in batch 1, keep an eye out because we're building these bikes and we are now sending them out. Batch 2's frame is on the water right now. We're just in the process of releasing it from customs. They will arrive to Spark soon, and we'll go through the whole production phase. So with that in mind, you have to know that Spark really believes in this bike. We've been riding it now, and it is a blast. It takes everything we learned from the Bandit, amps it up, and just makes it so much better. It's great for cargo. It's great for short trips. Its torque is incredible. Its range is great. And it's a platform that you can do lots of amazing things with. This also opens the conversation about batch 3. Is it going to be crazy delayed? Are we going to have a 3 or 4 month change in our plans? And the answer is absolutely not. Our frame maker is doing a great job. They're already making the frames for that next batch. The frames have been finalized and there's no more changes to be made. Our motors, our batteries, our controllers, everything is settled and we have our suppliers for there. So really the only thing that was delaying us was our frame maker, and that's been figured out. So if you would like a Brute, go to sparkcycleworks.com, go to the Brute page, and you can pre-order yours now. Our target right now is shipping around Christmas time to middle of January. We've been able to keep our prices low because, again, we are an American manufacturer. We're not like every other company in this industry. There are tariffs still in place, but keep in mind, it's just hitting our frames and our motors. We're building everything else. We're doing all the electronics. We're building it from the ground up. So rather than that 25% tariff hitting the entire bike, it's just hitting those subcomponents. All right, everyone. Thanks again. You've been hanging in there, and I can't tell you how much our team appreciates it. We're going to continue building this bike for many years to come, just like the Bandit, and it's just going to keep on getting better and better. Our production times are going to keep on getting cut lower and lower, and it is just the beginning for the Brute.